with Week 2, the NFL season sim wrapped up. Let's take a look at your 16 matchups for the week and recap them as we head into week number 3. The first game, Thursday Night Football. Yes, that is not a typo. That is 63 points for the Dallas Cowboys, most in sim history in a game. They beat the Bears on the road 63-21. The Cowboys, they set history a lot tonight. Dak Prescott, 21 for 35, 340, and 5 touchdowns. Had 6 combined in this game. The Cowboys, also the most points put up in a game by a road team. So that will also go to the stat line. Justin Fields threw for 157. Even Tyson Bagent came in for the Bears. The Chiefs win 31-7 over the Panthers, but concern for Chiefs fans, Patrick Mahomes suffered an ankle injury in the second quarter. He'll be out for 2 weeks, so Blaine Gabbert will have the reins of the 2-0 Kansas City Chiefs as they take on the Texans. Bryce Young, 2 interceptions. Tough start for Carolina as they faced the Chiefs and then last week the Cowboys, 2-0 teams. We'll see if Bryce Young can do better next week. The Vikings, they beat the Colts 31-21 in a closer game in Indianapolis. Minnesota at 2-0. Colts drop to 1-1. Anthony Richardson had a 41-yard rushing touchdown in this game for Indianapolis. Otherwise, through the air, it did not look pretty well. Jonathan Taylor had a good day on the ground this week. Cousins, 26 for 39, 256, had 3 touchdowns, one of which to Justin Jefferson. Alexander Mattison had a rushing touchdown for the Vikings. The Chiefs have a scare at quarterback, and so do the New York Jets, but the Rams take a 21-13 win. And I kid you not when I say this, but Aaron Rodgers did suffer a knee injury in this game and could possibly be out for the season. That happened in the second quarter, and that's not all of the quarterback injuries. We'll get to all of them. Stafford, 214 and a touchdown. Kyron Williams had 2 touchdowns. Rams progress to 1-1. Jets go down to 1-1, and Zach Wilson will be the starter against the 49ers. The Ravens dominate the Patriots in Foxborough in the rain, 31-6. It was questionable last week with how the Ravens looked. Yeah, that is out the window. They look back to form this week. Lamar, 231, 2 TDs. His leading receiver was Isaiah Likely, 5 for 110 and a touchdown. Both running backs, J.K. Dobbins and Gus Edwards, getting active in this game. Mac Jones is still yet to throw a touchdown. He has 183 through the air. In this game, Stevenson and Elliott both with less than 55 rushing yards. The Packers have a scare in Landover. They win by 1, 21-20 over the Washington Commanders. Green Bay was up 21-7, and then the Commanders just started coming back. 21-3, and then the Commanders just started coming back. Sam Howell, 267, 2 TDs. Jordan Love threw for 3 touchdowns, had 239. Christian Watson, a good day. Terry McLaurin, a good day as well. Commanders have lost by 1 possession back-to-back weeks. They're 0-2. Packers are 2-0 in the Jordan Love era. The Lions looking like a contender early on. They win 30-20 over the Denver Broncos, who look much better under Sean Payton, as Russell Wilson threw for 291, 3 touchdowns, had an interception early, but Jerry Jeudy looking like a possible wide receiver number 1. David Montgomery fitting in well with the Lions offense, 19 for 117 and a touchdown. Goff, 251, 2 touchdowns, and in the MVP race, rookie tight end Sam Laporta looking good as well. A weird stat line here. The Chargers win 31-13 against the Bengals in a big upset. But I mentioned this wasn't the end of the quarterback spree. Justin Herbert out for the season with a foot injury. It is turf toe. He threw for 178 and a touchdown. Austin Eckler had a huge day on the ground. But it's Easton Stick who will take over for the Chargers as Herbert will be back next year. Joe Burrow didn't look too well in this game. The Buccaneers beat the Saints 27-20 in a game that actually doesn't have a lot of headlines. But both quarterbacks nearly threw for 300 yards. Baker, 291, 2 touchdowns and interception. Derek Carr, 294 and interception. Carr has looked great with the Saints, but they just can't get the win. Of course, got blown out against the Bills. Mike Evans and Michael Thomas look like they're returning to form as well. Bucs take control of the NFC South with their win against the New Orleans Saints. Game of the week ended up being a blowout. The 49ers win 38-13 against the Eagles. Back-to-back weeks putting up 38 points. They took care of the Eagles better than the Dolphins. Purdy, 267, 3 TDs, and the favorite for MVP at the moment. Christian McCaffrey up there as well. 20 rushed, 93 yards, 2 touchdowns. Jalen Hurts only 50% through the air, threw an interception, had a tush-push touchdown. DeAndre Swift was held on the ground. A.J. Brown had a moderate day. Then you have the Steelers winning 16-7 in an okay game against the Falcons. They had a blocked field goal in this game, which made the score look better in their favor. But Kenny Pickett, 182. Najee Harris had the only touchdown in this game. Desmond Ridder looked better than a week ago, but he still threw 2 interceptions, and the Falcons had 3 turnovers as Kyle Pitts had a fumble. Bijan got his first career NFL touchdown on a reception, and the Steelers progressed to 2-0. Falcons digressed to 0-2. How about this? A pretty good game. 17-16, the Seahawks win by 1 at home against the Titans. Second game that was won by 1 point this week. The Packers were the other team. Tannehill, 255, an interception, and talks that maybe Will Levis might get a chance sooner than what many people think. Geno Smith, another 200-yard game, 263 and a touchdown. Good day for Kenneth Walker, and the rookie Jackson Smith-Njigba caught his first NFL touchdown. Seahawks, a quiet 2-0 team. Titans fall to 1-1. The Dolphins, after getting blown out last week, get a nice win this week, 23-10. They beat the Raiders, and both teams are now 1-1 exiting this week. Tua, 264, 2 touchdowns, had a fluky interception. Jimmy Garoppolo threw for 240. Josh Jacobs had the touchdown for the Raiders, but their offense looked good at some drives and then terrible at the other drives. This consistency needs to be figured out by the Raiders. Devontae Adams had a 102-yard receiving game. Sunday Night Football in Arizona came down to the first overtime game of the year where the Giants win 23-20. The Cardinals were up 17-0, and the Giants came back and beat them. Daniel Jones with 295 and a touchdown. Saquon went off, and the rookie Jalen Hyatt out of Tennessee had his career game. Kyler Murray had a good game too. 236, had 3 touchdowns through the air. One of them to Hollywood Brown. Zach Ertz had a good game as well. Doubleheader on Monday night started with their early game. The Bills beat the Browns 28-14. Their dominant win in New Orleans was followed up by another dominant victory against the Browns. Deshaun Watson looked better this week. 179, had a touchdown. Nick Chubb also had a touchdown in this game. Josh Allen, 231, 3 touchdowns, one of which on the ground. He scored all the touchdowns tonight for Buffalo, whether passing or rushing. The rookie Dawson Kincaid out of Utah caught his first NFL touchdown in this game as well. And then finally, the Texans and the Jaguars, one of the best games of the week. Jacksonville down by 2 in this game, came back, scored a touchdown with 40 seconds to go to win this game. C.J. Stroud, 229, 3 TDs, did the best out of the rookie quarterbacks this week. Trevor Lawrence, 263, 2 touchdowns, one of them to Evan Engram. That one to take the lead and win the game. So Jacksonville goes to 2-0. The Texans fall to 0-2, but look really strong through the first 2 weeks. On to the standings, and while I read the standings, just a reminder, the Super Bowl sweepstakes will be dropped in the description. Make sure to sign up to be a part of Super Bowl 8. But our standings have Jacksonville, Baltimore, Kansas City, Buffalo, and Pittsburgh 2-0 in the AFC. Indianapolis and the Chargers, each 1-1, holding the final 2 spots. Everyone's still in the hunt. Dolphins, Titans, Jets, Raiders, all right there in contention for that 7th spot. Then you go to the NFC. Seattle stays 2-0 on top of the NFC. Cowboys also at 2-0. Lions 2-0. Bucks at 1-1. And then the other 3 teams are also 2-0. The 49ers, Vikings, and Packers. Giants, Eagles, Rams all 1-1. Everybody else 0-2. But it's still early in the season. Still seeing who's good, who's not, who's contenders, and who is not as well. This is ASC signing off.